welcome to this very special Turkey Day edition of Invisible Walls. You're probably shocked to see the show up on the site today, so are we, to be honest. But it is a little shorter today. We're running about 15 minutes. We just wanted to give you guys a little bit of thanks for sticking with us on the show and make sure we had something for you guys over the Thanksgiving Day holiday. And on the show today, we have Grumpy McGrump spreading the Thanksgiving Day cheer.
Gobble, gobble.
What you gobbling there?
Wouldn't you like to
know? Brooks Huber's on the show today.
What up, Jive Turkey?
Patrick Morales.
Happy holidays, everyone.
And Ryan Stevens.
Hi, that's all I want to say.
That's some evidence. Send me just the view from the camera. They're so cool. Make me look good now. All right. Yes! Woo! I should get some lessons from you.
All right, so on today's show, we're going to run through people, games, companies, whatever that we deem turkey-worthy. These are people who have laid an egg at one point or another during the year that we want to call out in this special episode. And also at the end, we're going to give thanks for things that we really appreciate from our jobs in the industry. And first, we're going to talk about the man. And by the man, we mean various organizations that hold good folks like us down.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the ESA and the ESRB because we never talk about those guys.
We're going to get carpet bombed at some point by one of these places.
We're not going to be able to air this show.
Let's talk about the ESA to start off with. I mean, E3 this year, what a cluster.
This past year, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, E3 last year wasn't much.
I think the problem is it wasn't a cluster.
I think it was. I think it was. There was definitely some
cluster.
To me, a cluster is when things are so frickin' insane that they just get out of control and you can't get a handle on it.
A cluster is when there's a lot of ups all happening at the same time. Yeah, so that's the
type formation.
But yeah, let's look at E3.
Let's look at lots of beeps in this episode, by the way.
Let's look at the start. Just everything from press conferences on how the ESA didn't flex any muscles over the big three holding their press conferences all over the place, one after another, shuttling journalists around.
That is what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to lead this industry forward and help it grow, but it seems like they're just constantly reacting to everybody. Instead of having a vision and saying, this is what the industry needs to do, and we're the ones to make it happen, they listen to everybody bitch and complain, and then they try to come up with some sort of half-assed solution to it all.
Let's face it, these guys couldn't organize an orgy in a brothel. But, so that's the ESA, and feel free to chime in. Right? Everybody else is looking at me and Shane like we've grown turkey feathers. So we've got, the ESA, hopefully they'll get E3 right next year, and E3 will go back to being the biggest games conference in the world.
Well, they're already saying that they're going to cap it at, like 40,000 or 60,000 people?
But I'm just, making it style and content, making it big, making it brash, making it everything that, we celebrate as shallow bastards in the game industry.
What I still don't understand is why E3 doesn't take the TGS model where, there's specific press days and specific, public days. I mean, TGS, it hits that stride between both a fancy consumer show and like a nice press, industry show. So,
and they'll make money.
So, yeah,
charge people money to get in there, and not some lame E-for-all thing where there's 3 frickin' booths. So you give them the whole shebang. People are going to pay to come in and see that stuff.
Yeah. Exactly.
But then the question arises: if people can go in and see it themselves, then do they care about our coverage?
I think there's going to be so much behind closed door stuff that the Joe public won't see, and If you want to make it one day for the public to come in, maybe the Saturday, fair enough, after everybody else is pissed off. But bring back Booth Babes.
Agreed.
Here.
So we're also going to talk about the ESRB, but we've already talked about them a little bit, so should we just agree with the fact that ESRB are a bunch of turkeys this year?
Gobble, gobble.
Yes, sure.
Well, I will say one thing. We've started getting requests to age-gate teen-rated games. So
I'd like to get a reverse age gate for things that are rated like, what is it, KA or like 3C? Like, you're too old, you can't watch this. That's the kind of insanity they do.
I think you should do that. I think that should be the next thing. Is like you have to be under the age, or perhaps an IQ age gate, an IQ gate. Yeah. You have to be really stupid to watch this trailer.
Well, here's some irony actually. When we put up our Mortal Kombat review, we age gated it because if you actually watch the game, it's pretty bloody and pretty violent. Yeah. I don't think we even really thought about whether it was an M or a T, We just looked at the game and we were like, yeah, we should probably age gate this.
Were we being responsible?
We were being responsible.
I demand you take that age gate down.
Well, you're not the only one. Like, everybody in the comments section was like, why did I have to put in my age for this when it's a teen-rated game? So it's like, I don't know if somehow, like, I mean, that game probably shouldn't be a T game.
Because you've got to be over the age of 13, or you've got to be 13 or over to watch it. Under the age of 13, you can't watch it. So therefore, actually, an age gate was responsible.
Thank you.
Earthrealm will never succumb to the forces of darkness, Quan Chi. Now you will face the judgment of the Elder Gods.
All right, the next turkey and target of our ire. So licensed games, there's a lot of them this year, a lot of big movies. Brooks, what's your impression of some of the licensed stuff that came out this year?
This is a reoccurring turkey pretty much every year. I mean, when are they going to learn? This year we had Quantum of Solace, which wasn't horrible. It was all right.
Yeah.
But specifically, we're looking at Iron Man, Hellboy, Hulk, pretty much all the Marvel games that, you know, the movies are fun, cheesy, whatever, but when the games come out, they're just broken, unplayable, and not fun at all.
Yeah, they're always the victim of game X has to be out on day X or half the sales are gone.
They always need more time in the oven.
But considering how long the movies are in production and the script is locked down and the voice talent is locked down, and most of the studios now actually include a voice talent clause in the actor's contract, there is no excuse to do a really decent game. I mean, and if you say, you know what, we can't do a game that's based around the movie because the movie is going to be too short, you say, all right, Marvel, all right, DC, let's go and get a parallel script. Let's work with some of your
Make
writers.
a Riddick.
Yeah, let's make a Riddick. Riddick is a prime example of how to do a great game. Or another one, Wanted. That is looking really
Same thing with the
phenomenal.
new Batman. They're actually taking their time and really going into it.
Yeah, Arkham Asylum. That's another one. So I mean, DC seem to get their acting together, but
I mean, you think
Marvel
about it, they
don't.
have probably 2 years to make these games max. So I mean, with 2 years, it's kind of hard to expect them to create a 30-hour game that's quality through and through from beginning to end.
Yeah, but like
so,
Quantum of Solace they got the engine from Call of Duty. They didn't have to spend any time engineering anything. It was pretty much just straight design.
Mm-hmm.
And they had lots of access to all of like the movies, like production drawings and stuff like that. So they really just had to make a game.
As long as there's a core base. But you look at Iron Man. Iron Man was absolutely abysmal. Hulk was nowhere near as good as
the last
Ultimate Destruction, which was
Yeah.
a phenomenal game. So yeah, they need to get their friggin' act together.
Well, even Spider-Man, which had no movie this year, that game, Web of Shadows, was horrible too.
yeah.
It was a licensed game, yeah.
It's
I
just
give it a
another
little bit of
licensed
a
game.
pass at Quantum of Solace because I felt like the quality level was fairly high for what was there. It just wasn't that long.
It's a rental.
Yeah.
It's a rental.
Those other games I wouldn't even recommend renting.
Pass a law that says that every movie game coming out from now on has to be produced by Pete Wannett, the guy who did Scarface and Riddick and The Thing, and he's doing Wanted.
He did The Thing?
He did he worked on The Thing with John Carpenter. I mean, he worked on a couple of other, titles that never saw the light of day due to things outside his control. But he gets movie games, and he's probably the only producer in the games industry who gets how to deliver content that's not, for games.
You got to imagine he's getting tired of making movie-based games, though.
You know what?
Every game designer wants to ultimately make their own game.
No, I know Pete, and everything he picks as a project, he absolutely loves to death, and he throws his heart and soul into because he's a gamer and he's a movie buff. So yeah, that's the new rule.
You're here. All right, and for our very last turkey of this episode,
Perhaps the biggest turkey.
certainly the biggest turkey of 2008, the Nintendo Wii.
Yeah, and Nintendo in general. I think, we can take the DS to one side, but we had a little discussion before we started that the DS is kind of exempt because all the great stuff, or a lot of the great stuff that's come out on the DS this year has come from like Square Enix and from a lot of third-party publishers. So it's ironic that the total flip side is when it comes to the Wii, all the third-party stuff is coming out as crap, and all the first-party stuff is Wii Music!
Yeah, I mean, the DS is, it also has a huge library, so somebody could conceivably pick that up and still have plenty of stuff to play. Like, the Wii, there's 3 or 4 really must-play games, and after that, there's nothing really, at least for us.
Really, the last 6 months in particular. I mean, the Wii was okay out of the gate this year. I mean, you got Smash Brothers, you got Mario Kart, you had No More Heroes. But now it's like, and last year we had Metroid and Super Mario Galaxy.
Yeah.
And now this year, I mean, the Blob's good, but that's not.
It's certainly different.
The fact that we're talking about the Blob in this conversation.
But I mean, that's the thing. It's the last 6 months. What are the big titles for the Wii? It's like that are good, like the Blob, Boom Blocks.
I mean, to give you an sort of like indictment, if you will, of the state of the Wii, I've been playing the new Rayman Raving Rabbids
TV Party,
which is actually a buttload of fun.
Yeah.
And especially getting a group together, it's
No
a lot
pun
of fun.
intended, right?
Yes, no pun intended.
Use your arse.
But that's that's the most fun and that you can get on a Wii right now. With regards to the new releases, that's wrong.
That's the worst Q4 for a Nintendo console I have ever seen.
Yeah.
yeah,
Ever.
even the
Yeah.
GameCube would always have at least one title
And the
as a
N64.
flagship. Yeah,
They'd always have at least one big first-party game for Q4, so people over the holidays, sit down over Thanksgiving break and play through it.
But here's the question: do you think after like Wii Music's like pretty tepid sales, you think Animal Crossing is also going to be like Strike 2?
No,
Or do you
I think
it's gonna
Animal
sell?
Crossing is going to sell. Although the commercials for that game disgust me. Have you seen them?
No.
It's like two 40-something women sitting in a living room, and the one woman's like, "Oh, I don't like that shirt." And she's like, "We bought that shirt yesterday." And that's the whole friggin' commercial.
Well, what Nintendo need to realize is that it's all well and good selling all these Wii consoles every month to the casual gamer, but the casual gamer is not going to spend a lot of money on software.
Yeah, they don't.
And that means that third parties are getting less and less inspired to make good Nintendo titles. They're just lopping shit out left, right, and center. Whatever happened to the Nintendo seal of quality?
I just asked that
Now
last
it's
week.
the Nintendo seal of quantity.
Indeed. And it's gone from golden to a sort of like shitty brown.
Oh, there's so much shovelware for that system. You go to a Best Buy and you look at the games there.
M&M kart racing.
It's awful.
And it's not, unfortunately, it's not the wrapper, because that would actually be funny as
Yeah.
opposed to the chocolate. It would be, get out of the way, bitch! Bust a cap.
They're going to have an advertisement in Target coming up that they're going to be guaranteed in stock this holiday season. If you go into a department store, Best Buy, whatever, they will have a Wii in. That's what they're saying.
When was the last time you saw a console dominate like this, and you can't think of a single big third-party exclusive that's coming out for it in Q4?
I don't think
Ever.
we've ever been in that situation.
Never.
And for Nintendo, people. The other worrying thing for me is that Shane Kim at Microsoft said it a couple of weeks ago. There's no point poking fun at Nintendo. They'll just say, "Oh, we'll go back to counting our money and selling the units."
Right.
And he actually said something along the lines of that Nintendo have done something that we at Microsoft need to learn that lesson and be able to go the same route.
Yeah.
If that's the case, we could be looking at the end of hardcore gaming. Because if all Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo want to do is sell units of the consoles to casual gamers, where the hell is the next Fallout going to come from? Where's
That'll
the next
never happen,
Fable?
though.
Yeah,
I mean,
look at the software
I-
chart.
I-
Japan's been like that for a while. Like, the big titles, they'll still sell 100,000, but they're not the million numbers they used to be, unless it's like, Dragon Warrior.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
I
playing
mean, all the
devil's
sales are
advocate.
coming from hardcore games. You're not going to sell 3 million copies of the shovelware that comes out for the Wii. Even
Fit.
Wii Music.
Wii Fit.
Wii Fit's done great.
Wii
It's an
Fit,
anomaly,
Wii Fit
though.
is doing phenomenally well.
But you look at the other games that have sold well on Nintendo's console. What were they? They were Mario, they were Zelda, they were Smash Brothers. Those aren't casual games. I mean,
But I mean, this is my point. That right now the hardcore games are still holding up supporting the console industry and the games industry in general. But if more and more companies want to get into the consoles, the casual
But
side,
don't even talk about like hardcore and casual, just like quality. Like, 'cause this is like Bloodworth series. He keeps saying that Carnival Games is still a quality game, even though it may not be a game for like everyone. But
And the big
the
problem
casual
is-
market. I mean, here's the thing: you make a crappy casual game, you sell whatever, maybe 20,000 units, you've already made your money back.
oh, and then some.
Right, but here's the thing: if there's just so much shovelware, you won't even be able to get that piece of the pie.
Here's
And
the
it
real
will
thing,
implode
though.
on itself.
If Nintendo wasn't making a profit off its hardware, it wouldn't be doing what it's doing. It's making $100 off every box it sells, so it can sustain itself by just allowing the casuals to buy the hardware and 1 or 2 games, and they're okay because they're making money off every unit they sell.
I'm not saying they're not making money. At the end of the day, they're making money hand over fist. But I think they're actually taking quite a short-term view.
Oh, I agree, 100%.
And it could also be used as an example. It's very similar to the economy right now, where people took a short-term view, and not the long-term view, and then everybody's ended up screwed. So
With adjustable rate mortgages.
yeah,
That's a pretty good analogy, actually.
Yeah, but Nintendo, give us games. Don't be a turkey.
Please,
Give
we
us-
want games.
give us quality games. I mean, take the Wii, and the Wii has this continued potential to be phenomenal. Invest in something brilliant. Take some of that money, go buy a kick-ass production
Go
team.
buy freaking Capcom.
Yeah.
You have the money. Go buy them.
I mean, the only Wii title I'm looking forward to next year is Punch-Out, because they've just announced that they're going to be doing the boxing gloves that we actually suggested a couple of weeks ago, where you can put the Wiimotes in them.
Really? I
Yeah.
didn't even know that.
I didn't know that either.
Please make good games, Nintendo. All right, so this show's been full of bitching and moaning. We do that a lot on this show.
No, we don't.
But now we're going to turn it around and we're going to talk about things that we really appreciate and we're thankful for on this most majestic Turkey Day. Marcus, I know it's going to kill you to say that you actually like something, but what are you thankful for?
Fallout 3.
Fallout 3? Fair enough. Brooks, what are you thankful
I'm
for?
thankful for Dirty Dirty Horde and Gears of War 2.
Fair enough. Patrick?
I am thankful for some actual original titles from EA that I want to play. Mirror's Edge and Dead Space.
Oh, cheers to that. Stevens, what are you thankful for?
Fallout 3 as well.
And rechargeable batteries.
So, Shane, what are you thankful for? I know it's me.
I'm most thankful for my wife's understanding of my hobby. Because right now there's like 2 sets of drums, 6 guitars, 3 consoles, 7 controllers, a docking bay for my Wii controllers, an entire corner full of games with Pokemon action figures, and she never ever complains about any of it.
We need
That's
more.
because you live in a 17-bed mansion in Beverly Hills. You're the editor-in-chief of Game Trailers. We know you pull down $2 million a week.
Yeah.
2 million GTD, maybe.
Yeah. More like I live in an apartment and all that stuff I just listed is literally within a 10-foot by 10-foot space. So the fact that she puts up with all that and still lets me come home and play games and doesn't complain or bitch, props to her. Wow.
Does she have a sister?
Anyway, that's going to do it for this week's edition of Invisible Walls. Most of all, I think we're mostly thankful for you guys for watching.
Even the fanboys.
Yeah, even the fanboys. If you guys quit watching, then the show does not exist. And quite honestly, this is the most fun I have all week at my job. So,
Yeah, don't give them ideas.
so thank you very much for watching the show. We hope you guys all have an excellent Thanksgiving.
Unless you're in Europe where you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, by the way.
Sorry for you. Everyone in America, grab a game, play it over the holidays, get your friends into it, spread the love, and we'll see you next time.